Today we will discuss about the mechanism of water transport in plants. So how the water is transported in the plant from the root system to the apex or tip of the plant. Then how the water will be pumped in upward manner in the plant. You know that there is no any motor in the plant, but the water will be pushed in upward direction. So there is a push from below due to root pressure on the column of water in the xylem vessels. So water is absorbed by the root hairs, and that will be reached to the xylem vessels by radial conduction. From there, when the water is accumulated in the xylem vessels, a root pressure is formed in the roots, and that will be pushed the water column in upward direction. But this formation of a root pressure is seldom high, because that much of root pressure is not enough to lift this water column up to the long heights. That means that is the tip of the plant. But in some seasons, the root pressure will become nil in some plants. Even though the root pressure is nil, the water upward movement is continuous. And one more thing, how does the water reaches in 180 meters of high, that is the top of the tree, in the plants like eucalyptus. So there are plants like eucalyptus that which goes up to 180 meters. But the root pressure, which is the highest root pressure which is formed in the root system, is not sufficient to lift the water column up to 180 meters. Then just we have to recall this experiment which we have studied in our previous classes. So this experiment is only to prove the transpiration. So this is a potted plant. This is a potted plant, right? In this potted plant, the polythene bag is tied on the entire plant, and here the base will be tied firmly with a tag. So after some time, you will see the water droplets to the walls of the polythene bag, inside the polythene bag. So now how these water droplets appear or came. So here, this plant, by the process of transpiration, releasing these water in the form of vapors. The water is released in the form of vapors, and that when they are attached to the wall, that will be in the form of droplets. This evaporation of water through the leaves is called transpiration. Then, how the transpiration takes place? Water evaporates through the stomata of the leaves and lenticels of the stem. So there is two structures which release water by the transpiration. One is stomata. The stomata are present on leaves. That is called stomatal respiration. And one more thing, the lenticels. The lenticels are present on the stem. So through the lenticels also, the water will be released. Right? So the two structures which releases the water are the stomata and the lenticels. Then when here see the structure. So this is the root. So this is the root. This is the root here. The water is absorbed through the root hairs, and this is a radial conduction that will enter into the xylem. So when the leaves transpire, so here this is the leaves. The leaf mesophyll cells, and when the leaves transpire, there will be somewhat a negative pull is formed in this mesophyll. That is, negative pull is formed in this mesophyll cells. This pull will drag the water column in upward direction. So this is one water column that is in xylem. This will be dragged upwards by a force, a pulling effect, which is formed in the mesophyll cells due to the transpiration. These are top ends of the vessels are surrounded by the leaf mesophyll cells. These are the leaf mesophyll cells which contain the cell sap. So the water is continuous from xylem vessels to the walls of the mesophyll, and then it comes out of the intercellular spaces of the leaf, and through the stomata the water will be released. Right? Then the water column which is formed in the xylem vessels does not break. What is the reason? The reason is a continuous molecular attraction. Continuous molecular attraction, that is inter and intramolecular attraction. Intermolecular attraction means the attraction between the two different molecules. Intramolecular attraction means the attraction between two different molecules. So what is the intermolecular attraction here? That is the attraction between the water molecules and walls of the xylem vessel. That is intermolecular attraction. And then what is the intramolecular attraction? The attraction between the two water molecules. That is intra. So by this inter and intramolecular attractions, there will be a continuous water column in the xylem vessels. Right? Then water from the soil enters into the root hairs by the process of osmosis. From root hairs, through the radial conduction, water reaches the xylem vessels. So that water uh, becomes a continuous water column through the xylem up to the mesophyll of the leaves. Then water from mesophyll evaporates and released into atmosphere. This creates a pool of water, main pool of water. This is the reason. So with this, we have completed the mechanism by which the water travels through the plant.